My parents boycotted my wedding to a security guard. A 10-second clip exposed them. The church doors stood open, sunlight spilling across the white aisle runner as guests turned to watch me take my first steps toward the altar. My heart should have been racing with joy, but instead it carried the weight of 2 empty seats in the front row, reserved for Mom and Dad. They weren't coming. 3 days earlier my mother had called. "I can't believe you're throwing your life away," she'd said, her voice cold enough to freeze the room. "A security guard, Emma? We didn't spend thousands on your education, so you could marry someone who stands outside buildings opening doors." Before I could answer, my father took the phone. "If you marry him," he said, "don't expect us to be there." Then the line went dead. Now, standing in my wedding dress, I looked once at those empty chairs before fixing my eyes on Noah, the man waiting at the altar in his neatly pressed navy suit. He smiled with the same quiet confidence that had made me fall in love with him 2 years ago. Noah worked security at a downtown corporate tower. At least that's what everyone believed. He'd never corrected anyone. "Ready?" my grandfather whispered, squeezing my arm. I nodded. More than ever. As I reached Noah, he took my hands. "You look incredible." "So do you," I whispered, trying not to cry. The ceremony was simple, warm, and filled with laughter. Friends shared stories. My grandmother dabbed happy tears from her eyes. Even without my parents, I felt surrounded by people who loved us for who we were, not for our job titles. During the reception, Noah's coworkers gathered around, teasing him about finally settling down. They all wore similar dark suits, laughing like old friends. One of them held up his phone. "Hey Noah," he grinned. "Remember this?" He played a 10-second security camera clip from months earlier. The room laughed immediately. On the screen, Noah could be seen sprinting across the company lobby after a nervous intern accidentally knocked over an expensive sculpture. Instead of letting it shatter, Noah dove forward, caught it inches before it hit the marble floor, and somehow landed without breaking either the sculpture or himself. The intern looked horrified. Noah simply stood, dusted off his jacket, handed back the sculpture, and bowed dramatically while everyone in the lobby applauded. It was ridiculous. Embarrassing. Completely Noah. Guests burst into laughter. "So that's how you spend your shifts?" someone joked. "Hero by day, comedian by choice," another added. But then the coworker smiled. "That's not actually why I saved this." He tapped the screen again. The video zoomed out. A small company logo appeared in the corner. Several guests immediately recognized it, including my uncle. "Wait." He frowned. "Isn't that?" The coworker nodded. "Yep." He turned toward the crowd. "You all know Noah as one of our security officers." Everyone nodded. "What most people don't know is that he's also the majority owner of the company." Silence. I laughed. "Good one." "No," the coworker replied. "Seriously." He opened another photo. There was Noah, standing beside the executive leadership team during the company's annual shareholder meeting. Then another. A business magazine cover featuring Noah with the headline, "The CEO who still works security once a week." Gasps rippled across the ballroom. I slowly turned toward my husband. "You own the company?" He rubbed the back of his neck sheepishly. "Technically, yes." "You told me you were a security guard." "I am." "What?" "I started as one." He smiled. "When my grandfather left me the business, I promised I'd never lead people from a corner office without understanding every job. So every Friday I still work security." The room fell quiet. "I like meeting people. I like helping them. And honestly," he shrugged, "it's the best part of my week." I stared at him. "You could have told me. I wanted to know someone loved me before they loved my bank account." My eyes filled with tears. "I would have married you either way." "I know." He kissed my forehead. "That's why I never worried." Just then my phone buzzed. Mom. Then Dad. Then 12 missed calls. Apparently someone at the wedding had already posted the 10-second clip online. Not the funny part. The ending. The revelation. News outlets were already sharing it. Comments flooded social media. Imagine refusing to attend your daughter's wedding because you looked down on honest work. The parents should be embarrassed. He never hit his job. They judged him anyway. Another call came. I silenced it. Noah glanced at the screen. You don't have to answer. I know. Minutes later my cousin walked over holding her own phone. You guys are everywhere. She showed us the newest headline. Parents boycott daughter's wedding to security guard. Discover he's the company's owner hours later. I shook my head. They're missing the point. Noah smiled gently. What point? I looked around the room. The point is that even if you weren't wealthy, I squeezed his hand, they were still wrong. The applause that followed wasn't for the money. It wasn't for the company. It wasn't even for the viral video. It was for every person who's ever been underestimated because of a uniform. For every honest worker dismissed by people obsessed with status. And for a love that had already proven its worth long before anyone discovered the truth. As the music started again, Noah pulled me onto the dance floor. The empty chairs my parents had left behind no longer mattered. Because the family that truly showed up wasn't defined by blood. It was defined by respect. And no 10-second clip could have exposed that more clearly.